afternoon, learners. Sanbona. I'm Service Omdlanzi from South African National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependency. I'll be talking to you about substance abuse briefly. We have a lot of issues when it comes to substance abuse and students, especially when they just came into universities. So I'll just brief. I know some of you have already said this is not for me, it's meant for others. Let me just define first. When we're talking about a drug, we're talking about any chemical substance that can be legal or illegal, natural or artificial, that changes the way or your brain or your body functions. Changes you by the way you think, feel, or behave. You've taken a drug. But the problem we have especially is abuse, not just drugs, it's abuse. It's when you're using any drug for wrong reasons, wrong amounts, at wrong times. That's where we are having problems. And it's always starts with young people thinking, this is cool, this is nothing, this one hurts, this is just for having fun, but then it escalates to bigger problems. But the norms that we are finding is that alcohol is still one of the most abused drugs, especially amongst learners, students, the same way. And the other one, it's dacha, cannabis sativa, weed, zol, holy head, you can call it anything, but it's one of the drugs that people are using. The third one that we are finding in, it's what people call incega, where young people are taking cough mixtures and mix it with other things. I'm not going to give people here what people are using, I'm just saying, but it's because they think it's safe, because they're getting from a pharmacy, they think it's safe. And we are finding a lot of it. Young people are using this nigga like it's going out of fashion. Let me just quickly go through the one that I think it's the biggest problem, the weed, because it then give a gateway to other drugs like e-wunga. Then you're finding a lot of young people then dropping out of universities. I've been to Wunga Park and you find young people who are saying, I'm on my last year, but I can't finish it. Now they are staying there by the urban park and they are students. And they started with weed, and people think it's nothing. One thing about it, I know people, there's a lot of thing about whether it's a legal drug or not a legal drug. At the moment, government was taken to court, and there's nothing we can do about that. It says now, for an adult, if they are smoking weed at home for private use, not in public, for private use, government cannot interfere. That does not make it legal. What it says, government cannot interfere with you, they cannot arrest you, but it doesn't mean if you go around buy it or go around selling it, you can be arrested because it's an illegal drug to go out and buy or sell, but if one is using it home. But what it doesn't change, it's what it does to your body. When we're talking about what it does to the body, it stays longer than any other drug you can use. It stays in your system. What it does, it also then attach itself around the brain cells or your fatty tissues. If you take a scan for someone who's been smoking dacha for a long time, you see black holes, which means there are cells that are dead, which is bad for people who are now studying. But what it also does, it makes people to be amotivational. To be amotivational, you lose dreams, you lose your vision. Why you even came to the university, you came here, you wanted to be an engineer, but then you're now changing your studies. I want to be an artist. There's not even a talent. Want to be a singer. You can't even sing because people then switch from what they started wanting, switching careers because they think this is cool, this is fun, from smoking. But it's, the other thing also is a gateway to Wunga. If we're talking to a lot of people who are on Wunga, that's where they started. They have drug of choice. The first drug they started, it was weed. So it's not an easy drug as people think. It's also unpredictable. It treats people differently. Other people will smoke and they'll lose weight. And you smoke, you gain a lot of weight because all of a sudden now we have this thing of wanting to eat more and more and more. So I know young ladies will say want to lose weight and then they start smoking. It's very unpredictable. It won't be like how it does to your friend. So we need to be careful about that one. But the other one that young people are now using, that's how I said it's the biggest problem, it's alcohol. I'm not going to talk much because we know the effects when it comes to that one. the danger is when it comes to all drugs, in fact, especially alcohol, you will choose your first drink, you will choose your first drug. If you say, I'm taking ciders, that's your choice, it's done. What you end up drinking is not going to be your choice. That's why you see young ladies saying, I'm only drinking ciders. This is their choice. You see them a year later, they have moved on to beer. Now they are taking beer. Few years later, it's 1818. Years later, it's Zulu, which they've never decided on. It was never their choice. So you need to be careful that when it comes to drugs, you will choose your first drug. But the worst thing about also alcohol, people when they are drinking, it affects, after 2 drinks, it affects your higher orders, your judgment. You find yourself having to sleep around. You find yourself with a group of young men where they was drinking, there was all that. The next thing is a bit shy. Besides just to shower this 1 or 2 steamer, 4 guys with you, and there's a video of you going around sleeping with 4 or 5 guys. Young people ending killing themselves after the day they were having fun. So alcohol, you need to think about it. It's not as fun as what we are seeing on TV. And you know the truth. What they're selling on TV, and you see these young people having fun, and they're selling the lifestyle. But you know the truth. Look at the people you know who drink. They don't look like the people you see on TV. They are selling us a lie. So we are clever enough, that's how we made it to MUT, use the truth that you know. Besides that, it also leads to HIV, because people sleep around, the next thing, condom was not used, HIV. So it's a link. Or your drinks can be spiked. Your drink can be spiked, the next thing, waking up somewhere that you never meant to be. Or you are taken, we found other people ending up on the streets. They don't know how they ended up there. That's why I'm saying my last message, when you're out, people look after your drinks. Always look after your drinks. Maybe the last thing I said the last thing, but now I'm thinking that young people are taking this nigga as if it's nothing. Those codeine that young people are taking, those flu medication, it's opiums. All opiums are made from a tree called opium poppy plant. It's the same tree that makes heroin, which end up being used as iwunga. So we have people that we call amapara because they are on wunga. So it's same thing. If we are taking inqiga, you are just iparanyana. You are starting, you are getting there. You will start by mixing with things, but eventually you will end up drinking out of the bottle. So if you don't want to be para one day, be careful. Just watch out what you are drinking. This thing of inqiga, it's very dangerous. Besides just that it's dangerous, it's made out, it's the same as iwunga. It also can cause you ulcer, can cause liver damage, end up with liver cirrhosis, can cause you kidney problems. So be careful out there. Thank you.